Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Earwax. I'm Colin, and today we're going to be doing a unboxing of a mystery 3-pack vinyl release from Polyvinyl Records. Now, Polyvinyl Records is an indie record label based out of Illinois. I think they do have satellite offices now out of New York and the Bay Area. They got about 30 to 40 artists, I think, currently signed to the label. They've been around since 1995. They do have some pretty big name acts, at least in the indie world, on signed to them. Specifically, they've got like Of Montreal, Always, Jeff Rosenstock, and Starfucker. I think is probably like one of their bigger acts that are been around for long enough. They've developed a pretty big following. They are definitely someone that I've ordered a lot from in the past, specifically a lot of Montreal, Architecture in Helsinki, and then most recently I got probably one of my heavy frontrunners for my favorite album of the year, which is Laura Jane Grace's second solo album, Hole in My Head. But that being said, today we're going to be doing this mystery vinyl pack that I just got in the mail today. I think that you can still get them online. I think this was around like $30 for all 3 records. I am a sucker for mystery packs, especially at a deal. I've done a lot over the years where I've gotten some really good stuff. I've gotten some where I've gotten some not so good stuff. But I think it's always an adventure. You can always, be surprised by something that you really like that you may not have, been planning on buying for yourself anytime soon. You could get something that you've never heard before, or you get something that's absolutely trash. It really could be anything. Could even be a boat. Okay, it's probably not a boat. But that being said, let's dive right in. So obviously there's going to be slightly less editing in this video than most of my other ones. I do want to kind of just go through the entire process. I do not know what I'm going to get. Clearly I'm opening this right here for the first time. So let's see. I am hoping that I don't get anything I already have. Not that, I don't have any duplicate records in my collection right now, but I would prefer to have something new and possibly something that I've never even listened to before, because that's always a pretty fun, exciting experience. All right. Oh, so the other really fun thing about Polyvinyl is that every time you order for them, they include an airhead. I don't know why. I don't know how that got started. I don't even like airheads that much, but it's always a fun, nice little bonus when they include it. They also pretty much always include a sticker. So I've got a few of those kind of splattered throughout my room. And yeah, let's see what the first one is. So I'm going to go just kind of the order that they have them here. Looks like the first album that I've got is Diane Coffey with People. Now, I'm not super familiar with Diane Coffey. I think I've heard maybe 1 or 2 tracks before, just randomly on like Spotify, but not someone that I've listened to a lot of music for before. And honestly, I love stuff like that. I love getting something that I've never heard. I may love it and I may play it over and over and over again, or I may not like it and it's just going to be something that sits in my collection until someone comes along and appreciates it more than me. That being said, though, I do like this album cover a lot. I think it's pretty cool. Definitely going in a more artsy direction, which is pretty standard for a lot of indie fans nowadays. Interesting sounding songs titles on the back here. So yeah, definitely something I am excited to check out. This is the Cloudy Clear vinyl. So it is a colored vinyl, which is always fun. I am going to open it now, check it out. Let's see. Ooh, all right. So first off, before we even get into the vinyl, it does come with what looks like a poster, which is awesome. I love anytime they include posters in releases. So you've got, got song lyrics on the back here, and then you got a cool just coffee, poster of the artist on there on the front. I don't know if I'll put that up. I usually like keeping my album posters together with the records. I like keeping the original shrink wrap on them as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this in an outer sleeve. I am currently out of inner sleeves, but I do have more coming. So for the time being, I'll leave this in its current sleeve. But as soon as I get more inner sleeves in, I'll be switching it over. And then, yep, that is a clear vinyl. I'm not sure if I get much of a cloudy look from it. Granted, it's not super bright in my office here, but Hey, I love clear records. I think it's one of the cooler variants you can do, and for some reason, I always find that clear records do sound pretty good. There's definitely a lot of colored vinyl out there that I don't think sounds super great, but for some reason, every clear record I have has a really, really, really good sound to it. So cool, definitely one I'm not familiar with, and I am excited to check it out and give it a listen. All right, and coming in at number 2 is going to be Jocko Gardner's Somnium. So another record that I'm not familiar with. I'll be perfectly honest. I kind of order from the same 5 or 6 artists off Polyvinyl. They've got a lot of stuff that I don't know. Also, I understand that a lot of these mystery bundles that you're buying, especially from studios, are a lot of stuff that they're just trying to clear out of their warehouse. It's stuff that maybe hasn't been selling, so it's probably not going to be their most popular stuff, which is fine. Every now and then you do get some gems, but I'm glad that these are ones that I'm not familiar with, so it gives me a brand new experience to check them out. Again, I do really like the album cover. It's got kind of a lung feeling to it. It does look almost like a sewer fan with some sort of like spectral, mist on the front of it. The back is pretty standard. Cool. Looks like this came out. Nope, they don't have a release date on it, so guess we'll find out. Again, not someone I'm actually familiar with. I don't think I've heard any of Jocko Gardner's music. I don't know if it's a single artist or a band. So excited to check that out, figure out exactly what I'm in for here. This is just a standard black vinyl, which again is totally fine. I know there's a huge trend with like colored vinyl, and I know that a lot of people want their records to be a little bit more, a little bit more creative and unique. But there's something to be said about just a good classic, thick, good sounding black record. This is a gatefold LP. Again, more of this kind of just eerie, ominous, kind of spectral looking album artwork. Some text up here: return to the Sphinx through the waves of illusion. Follow the wanderer crossing the gate. Shades are calling for a dance of diffusion. Travel the world that the watcher creates. Okay, so just based off of that and the album artwork, I'm going to assume this is some experimental stuff, maybe a little bit more orchestral. I'm completely unfamiliar with this band. I'm kind of just going off of the record and the song titles itself. Looks like it's just coming with the record in a pretty good inner sleeve. It's got the plastic on the inside of the sleeve, which is always nice. So cool. Yeah, another one that I'm not familiar with, and I'm definitely excited to check out. I will be putting this also in an exterior sleeve, and probably won't switch out the inner sleeve with this one, just because it is a pretty good quality, and there's nothing particularly about the inner sleeve on this one that I'd want to try and save, or keep in decent condition. If I have to swap it out, I always can. And the last one is the Dodos, Grizzly Peak. Nice. So I actually am familiar with this band. I haven't listened to them a ton, but they are someone that I have liked. Just cool, fun indie rock. I haven't listened to this album, I think, front to back yet. I do think that they are someone that I've just kind of listened to more in passing. I know they've popped up in a couple of my just random like indie rock playlists and radio stations that I've listened to over the years. So definitely excited to get more into them. I love this album artwork. I have seen it on Spotify a couple of times. I think it's super cool. I love really simplistic album covers that still are unique and definitely recognizable. Like seeing them one time, it'll kind of stick in your brain, and I think this is definitely one of them. This is a light pink vinyl. All of these do also come with a free download, which I don't think I've used in years since I've gone to streaming, but it's still nice that they do that. If you buy the album, you should be able to own it digitally as well. Light pink vinyl, it's great. I don't have a ton of pink in my collection currently. This is also a gatefold, so we're going to go ahead and just open it and take the shrink wrap off so that I can see the inside. As much as I do love to keep the shrink wrap on my albums, I also still like being able to, at least at first, check out the entirety of the artwork on the album. That's one of the things that I think really still draws me to physical media, is that, you can really get the full experience of the album, all the artwork, the liner notes, lyric sheets, if they include a, some kind of poster or something additional like that. Let's do this really carefully. Just want to get a little seam without damaging the actual cover of the record itself. And then usually I just kind of use my finger and just split the shrink wrap. Of course, I am just taking it off, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much. I will probably try and save the promotional sticker here. I do like putting those on the exterior of my exterior sleeves, just because it helps you remember like what edition you bought, and I do think it's still kind of part of the experience. But so we can see what the inside of this looks like, we're going to take it off. Wow. So yeah, this is again one of the reasons that I love physical media so much, especially vinyl releases, is you really get the full experience. You get to see the full aesthetic and theme that the musician or artist is going for. Grizzly Peak, I don't know for a fact, is named after the mountain here in Colorado. I'm gonna assume it is. I don't know many other Grizzly Peaks out there. The band is from the Bay Area, I'm pretty sure. So maybe they just fell in love with it when they're out here visiting sometime, but this definitely makes me think of Colorado. The aesthetic itself, it's very much, looking at kind of the red rocks on the Front Range where the Grizzly Peak is. And, I think it's definitely, I love, again, minimalist, kind of simplistic artwork, album artwork like this, that still very much is iconic and kind of paints a specific image or feeling in your mind when you're listening to it. So yeah, I think this is going to be one that I'm really going to enjoy, just based off the album artwork itself and the previous stuff I've heard from the Dodos. Let's check out the record. Oh, there's the download card. And yep, that's pretty light pink. Awesome. I like I like any sort of unique color that I don't have a ton of in my collection. I have a couple, like maybe one or two pink records, but not a ton. Looking at it, it's always easy to tell with really light colored records too if there's any like blemishes or imperfections. This looks pretty clean. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked to listen to it. Let's go ahead and pop this back in. I will be swapping this out for a better internal sleeve. It's just got, standard white with the hole. If you don't know, those are not the best to keep your records in. They're not terrible, but the hole can definitely allow dust to collect and stuff like that, and it is better just having that plastic cover over the label area there. That being said, I will be putting this in an external sleeve for now, and then transferring over an internal sleeve when I get it. We're gonna pop that download card back in. And yeah, so that's it. Cool. So one band I'm, fairly familiar with, but haven't really listened to a ton, in the Dodos. Two other bands, or two other artists that I'm not super familiar with. Jocko Gardner specifically, I've never heard of before, I've never listened to, so I'm excited to check that out. And then with Diane Coffee, it's definitely an artist that I've been somewhat familiar with. Again, I've heard a couple tracks here and there, but not someone I've ever really listened to or taken the time to dive into. So yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks you guys for watching, and as always, I'll talk to you later. Peace.